Badlands, running to Badlands. Explain those Badlands. That's a hell of a name.
Okay.
Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Daily Herald here on Badlands Media. I am your host, John Herald, and is everybody staying warm? Because it is supposedly really cold outside everywhere. I don't even know what is it right now here. It's supposed to be -8, but mostly sunny. So I guess that's nice. Yeah, we got this cold front going all over the country. Pretty dumb. So hope everybody stays warm. Miss Benangi, I bet that Alpha would be late, and it's John who's late. What the? I'm not late. I started at exactly 1 p.m. Eastern. I was perfectly on time. Or am I not live on? Oh, shoot. That's why. Whoops. My bad, guys. If you see this, I'm sitting here like doing my intro to the show. Refresh. Yeah, guys, I started on time. I just forgot to hit go live to Rumble. So it's like, what are you guys talking about? I'm on time. I started at exactly 1 p.m. Eastern. And boy, was I wrong. So that's my fault. But you missed the intro videos. So those who like to complain about our intro videos being too long, you're welcome. The rest of you, I'm back. So it is live now, right? Yeah. Yeah, I'm good. My bad. I'm live, you guys. Okay. Last time we'll say it. I went live on time. I accidentally forgot to hit go live to Rumble Studio. It's stupid. So I can show you here. I have my StreamYard, right? I go live from there, and then on the back end, we have Rumble Studio, which looks like this. 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 There it is. Studio. And I have to go live in both places, so I can go live to everywhere, including Rumble. I have to go live in both places, so I can go live to everywhere, including Rumble. I have to go live in both places. I wasn't late. I was on time. Everywhere, for the record there. But yeah, hope you guys are all staying warm. We have, I think, plenty to talk about today. We'll see. Our government is passing or attempting to pass another 1,000-page appropriations bill, so that's fun. We have some random news stories, a couple clips maybe. See what's going on Twitter. See what's going on with you guys in the chat. And yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm slowly becoming a fan of your Qbert background. Yeah, guys. I mean, if I'm being honest, I'm probably going to end up switching it around, so don't get too attached to it. But maybe I'll find a way to incorporate those things into the new background. We'll see. We have to take John. One of the St. Paul Church protesters was arrested, and I'm here for it. Praying Don Lemon is next. Yeah. I thought you were changing your desk back. I will be eventually. Just takes a little time. Little echo in the room. No, I think I'm good. But okay, let's get a quick word from sponsors of today's show. First up, we got Rise Attire, some Sovereign Alliance.
What is the Sovereign Alliance? The Sovereign Alliance are a collection of leaders and countries that are aligned not in the vision for their countries, but against a vision that has been thrust upon them. I believe that the Sovereign Alliance is less a battle for something and more a battle against something. They are against globalism, collectivism. They are against the rules-based international order.
Sovereign Alliance, the latest addition to Badlands Rise merch, available now at badlandsmedia.tv/rise.
Oh no. Scheisler says, please pray for us not to lose power this weekend. We haven't had time to get our generator up and running. Everybody, prayers to you, Scheisler. Everybody keep her in our prayers. Her and her husband. Yeah, I don't know why, like North Dakota, we get crazy, crappy weather all the time. Then like Texas gets it. And it's like nobody's prepared down there for it. It's just kind of not funny to me because I know it can be dangerous, but it's just weird to me. Supposedly Lemonhead has been charged. Add a little reverb and even BB can have gravitas. 2 were arrested, the school board lady and the one who organized the church. Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll talk about it. We have one more sponsor today, and that is Tamarack Garden. Are you looking for a better alternative to the over-the-counter drugstore medications? Tamarack Garden began from a parent's desperate need for safe and effective options for their kids. Tired of toxic chemicals, taking matters into their own hands, they began crafting medicine from weeds, wildflowers, and herbs, the original time-tested healers that modern medicine cannot match. Packed with antiviral herbs to boost immunity and fight illness, Tamarack Garden has, for a limited time, their elderberry and rosehip syrup kit available. Not only is it delicious, so no more battles with your kids, but also it's easy to make and will help keep you and your family healthy all fall and winter. And also introducing Tamarack Garden's new baby line, clean, non-toxic, and gentle for newborns and moms, relieving cradle cap, diaper rash, stretch marks, and postpartum pain. Visit TamarackGarden.com today. Use promo code BADLANDS for $10 off your orders of over $50. Remember to eat your weeds. TamarackGarden.com, promo code BADLANDS. Federal judge refuses to charge Lemon. Well, we'll see what we can find on this story. Let's do a real quick update on everything else going on. We got no update on the Doge website. Silver prices are soaring right now, and gold. Gold's at $49.28. Silver at $97.19. It's wild. It's only going up. There was a post I saw about silver. I don't know this account, so I can't like verify its non-shilliness, but the post is claiming that some silver wholesalers are like out of physical silver. This is from Silver Trade. Sold out but no bid. The U.S. wholesale silver market is breaking. A lot of emojis, which I don't like. And you guys know I hate people who do like all caps and emojis, sirens, and all that stuff. But anyway, we were sent the wholesale silver trade sheet from one of the U.S. Mint's APs this morning. Every single physical silver product is sold out. One of the main wholesalers who purchase directly from the U.S. Mint are literally not even accepting orders for a single physical silver product. Yet multiple physical silver retail products have suddenly gone no bid. This is not due to lack of demand for silver, but due to lack of capital at the largest wholesalers and brokerages in the country. From the info we are hearing, and from sources inside the wholesale and retail silver bullion industry in the U.S., it appears that all of the major U.S. precious metals wholesalers are maxed out on their credit lines to the point where they are no bid on silver products, yet they have no stock to sell at the same time. It's kind of crazy. As silver prices have quadrupled, the cost to short their entire book of millions of ounces of physical silver via COMEX futures has risen exponentially and has eaten up their fixed credit lines. I think we're going to get triple digits this week. Got to see what happens. Going to throw random sirens in now. Don't do it, guys. You'll trigger me. And you do not want to see me triggered. Bitcoin is just under 90,000. It's not just under 89.4. The only update to the presidential website is this thing stopping Wall Street from competing with Main Street home buyers. This is what Trump posted on True Social a little while back. He said he was going to do this, so expected some sort of presidential action at some point. And this is what we got. So that's good times. And then let's talk about this. Federal authorities announced 2 arrests tied to St. Paul church attack. Ramon 222 says, please pray for me. My daughter has gone out of her mind again and blames me for ICE being Gestapo and disowned me this morning. And I'm sorry to hear that, Ramon. The only thing I can really say is, like, hopefully people like that. Everybody's got something like that in their life, right? So it's somebody who's disowned you or a friend, whether family, friend, whatever. One hopes that eventually they'll come back around. Or at least you guys will be able to reconcile. Seeing Stewart, silver and gold truth, I believe, will eventually freak us out. So much gold, so little silver. Wouldn't that be interesting? I do believe it's artificially suppressed, the price of silver. Been saying that for a while. Don't know about gold, though, but would we not like it when you are triggered? Turn green. Most shops not buying 90% or sterling silver. Go.go has a $10 roll of quarters worth $360. That is crazy. Yeah, anyway, to the story. Federal law enforcement agents have arrested, two individuals in connection with a coordinated attack on City's Church in St. Paul, Minnesota. U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi announced identifying Nakima Levy Armstrong and Chantil Louisa Allen as being taken into custody at her direction. Bondi said Homeland Security investigations and FBI agents executed the arrests in Minnesota, stating that Armstrong allegedly played a key role in organizing the attack on the church. The arrests follow a protest at the church last weekend that drew national attention after activists disrupted services to target a pastor that they said was linked to U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Federal officials are investigating potential civil rights and other charges related to the incident. How do you guys feel about this? I mean, I know it's stupid that these people did that, and they should be held accountable, so this is good. They're doing their job. Does it really require Pam Bondi flying to Minnesota to do this? Which part, like, it feels like she's trying to almost grift off an arrest that they can actually make and finally do something that everybody's demanding that they can finally do. And they didn't even get the one everybody wanted, which is Don Lemon. It's ridiculous. But I mean, yeah, justice. Shouldn't have done that, guys. She had to go there for something. No one would go to Minnesota for vacation. True Social ETFs all up since launch last month. Check out the companies each ETF invests in, and I think you'll gain insights as to what companies will benefit from the DJT economy. Bondi doing the Una Penuna Banca routine? Yes. Yes, she is. Richard Rohr spent the better part of last night red pilling my little sisters and their families over speakerphone after they apologized for calling me crazy. I'm curious, what happened to get them... What happened to get them to think you were crazy? And then what happened following that to get them to no longer think you're crazy? Miss Fidangi, I'm guessing these peasants will sing about who's above them leading the protests. Maybe. Let's see what else. President Trump announces the framework for the Greenland Arctic deal following NATO talks. He said a meeting with General resulted in framework for potential agreement covering Greenland and the broader Arctic region, describing the talks as very productive. That was in a True Social post. I probably could show you that, I suppose. You know what? I don't even think I checked True Social today, so let's see if there's anything else. Looks like Trump has also sued JP Morgan Chase and CEO Jamie Dimon for $5 billion. Let me scroll back a little ways, and then I'll work my way up on the True Social posts. Man, he is posting a lot lately. Jeez. He must be on the plane flying back or something. This is crazy. Look at all these posts. Here. Anyway, this is the meeting yesterday, based on a very productive meeting that I have had with the Secretary General of NATO, Mark Rutte. I don't know how to say his last name. I don't really care. We have formed the framework of a future deal with respect to Greenland and, in fact, the entire Arctic region. This solution, if consummated, will be a great one for the United States of America and all NATO nations. Based upon this understanding, I will not be imposing the tariffs that were scheduled to go into effect on February 1st. Additional discussions are being held concerning the Golden Dome as it pertains to Greenland. Further information will be available or made available as discussions progress. Vice President J.D. Vance, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, and various others as needed will be responsible for the negotiations. They will report directly to me. Thank you for your attention to this matter. See, that's good stuff. And kind of what Chris Paul said, we talked about this Saturday. You know, Chris Paul made the point, the way Trump negotiates, and it's a common negotiating tactic, is that you ask for more than you actually want. And then as you negotiate down, you appear to be giving the people a win because they've been able to bring you down, but the whole time you get what you wanted. That does appear to be what is happening here. Seeing Stewart, when I complimented Trump in his first administration about meaningful child protections, I became the enemy after that. For sure, cueing all these current events like Trump being the peace president and the capitulation tour, sword dance, among other things. I sent Scotty Marr 10. Did I hear that Scotty Marr passed away? Is that true? Yeah, Jack Smith is testifying right now, by the way. I might have, let me see if I have a clip of that. He's in front of the Oversight Committee, I believe. Jack Smith. My girls got their retardism from their dad in college. That's funny, Nanya. Jack Smith is now under oath. I thought I saw some clips. Is he not live right now? Yeah, Jack Smith is showing all signs of wear and tear. I want to find a good clip of him saying something, but I haven't actually seen any, so I don't know if any exist. Oh, here we go. We'll listen to this.
During my tenure as special counsel, we followed Justice Department policies. We observed legal requirements and took actions based on the facts and the law. I made my decisions without regard to President Trump's political association, activities, beliefs, or candidacy in the 2024 election. President Trump was charged because the evidence established that he willfully broke the law, the very laws he took an oath to uphold. Grand juries in 2 separate districts reached this conclusion based on his actions, as alleged in the indictments they returned. Rather than accept his defeat in the 2020 election, President Trump engaged in a criminal scheme to overturn the results and prevent the lawful transfer of power. After leaving office in January of 21, President Trump illegally kept classified documents at his Mar-a-Lago social club and repeatedly tried to obstruct justice to conceal his continued retention of those documents. Highly sensitive national security information was held in a ballroom and a bathroom. As I testify before the committee today, I want to be clear. I stand by my decisions as special counsel, including the decision to bring charges against President Trump. Our investigation developed proof beyond a reasonable doubt that President Trump engaged in criminal activity. If asked whether to prosecute a former president based on the same facts today, I would do so regardless of whether that president was a Democrat or a Republican.
Liar.
No one should be above the law in this country, and the law required that he be held to account, so that is what I did. To have done otherwise on the facts of these cases would have been to shirk my duties as a prosecutor and as a public servant, of which I had no intention of doing.
I don't know. I think this dude's in pretty big trouble when everything plays out. He was the political persecution arm of the deep state and what they're trying to do to Trump. He's kind of a liar. I want to see, Trump is trying to prevent the classified Jack Smith files from coming out. I personally want to see him. Trump has asked the judge, can't remember her name, Eileen Cannon, to keep them sealed. And I know Jack Smith wants them out so he can like use them to testify here. I want to see him. There was one more clip I think I could probably play. I think it's Jim Jordan giving him a hard time.
This is the justification from the public integrity section. If you look at the bottom, John Keller, public integrity section, for going and getting the phone records, toll records of members of Congress. And there's a couple things I want to highlight. That first highlighted area, there is some litigation risk. So they admit there's some concern here. And they send this to the copy to Jack Smith's team. And then you go down later, as Mr. Gill pointed out, the case law is clear. A legislator may intervene and oppose such use. So the risk is real. But here's the deal. There was really no risk because we weren't going to know. They weren't going to tell us. They made sure they didn't tell us because they went to the judge and got a gag order. And look at the last sentence. The last sentence. Low likelihood that any of the members listed below would be charged. So they're not going to know because we're not going to charge any of these guys. They didn't do anything wrong. And so therefore the litigation risk should be minimal. They're not going to be charged. We're not going to go after them. The litigation risk is minimal. And it's minimal because frankly, it's non-existent because they're not going to know. And we're going to make sure they don't know because we're not even going to tell the judge who we're getting the gag orders on. And yet, Mr. Smith thought that was A-okay. That was just fine. That was in the letter and the spirit of the Constitution. I find that hard to believe. And you know why? You know why everyone knows it's wrong? Because the public integrity section at the Justice Department has now changed its policy. You can't do this anymore. They've changed their policy, but it was okay for Jack Smith to do it. Because we got to get Trump. We got to get the president. That's what this was all about.
Yes, that is what it was all about. But still, Congress is so stupid. These are all show trials. I don't think we're going to get any meaningful disclosure or any meaningful accountability from Congress. Whatever meaningful accountability even means. But we'll see, I guess. 1 year after Trump executive order, the U.S. is set to exit the World Health Organization. They are set to officially leave on Thursday. Trump's order formally notified the UN Health Agency of the U.S. intent to exit under U.S. law. Withdrawal requires a 1 year notice period and payment of all outstanding financial obligations before departure. That's stupid. State Department spokesman on Thursday said that the administration determined the WHO's failure to contain outbreaks and share information had cost to the United States trillions of dollars. Spokesperson said the president exercised his authority to halt any future transfer of U.S. government fund support or resources to the organization, adding that Americans have already paid more than enough to the agency. So I'm glad we paid more even on the way out the door. Planned exit has triggered a financial crisis at the WHO, which has cut its management team in half, reduced programs across the agency, and is preparing to eliminate roughly a quarter of its workforce by mid-year. The United States has historically been the organization's largest donor, providing about 18% of its total funding. Isn't that ridiculous, how much money we give these people? Diana Laporte Klump. This nation was founded on common law, and anything that goes against that has vacated their seats of government. I agree with you. Defund the government, says Nunya. No taxes and no voting for these fake and gay elections. Second round of questioning is later this afternoon. Q Awakening. Daily reminder that our elections are fake. Let's make voter revolt, tax revolt, enough is enough trend. I would love that. I already covered that story. Did that. There really isn't all like that much news going on. I want to see what Trump's latest posts say on True Social, though. He did have a couple things. So the Times, this is from Trump, the Times Siena poll, which is always tremendously negative to me, especially just before the election of 2024, where I won in a landslide, will be added to my lawsuit against the failing New York Times. Our lawyers have demanded that they keep all records on how they computed these fake results, not just the fact that it was heavily skewed toward Democrats. They will be held fully responsible for all the radical left lies and wrongdoing. Going after the pollsters. If this, something has to be done about the fake polls. They are truly out of control. We have the greatest economy in the history of our country. We have the strongest border in history. Nobody's ever done a job like I've done. And they have me in the low 40s. The Democrats destroyed healthcare. I'm trying to fix it. And they give me a fake low numbers. Fake polls on the economy, on the border, on just about everything are ridiculous and dangerous. The real polls have been great, but they refuse to print them. This is no different than a writer who is corrupt, of which there are many. The New York Times and so many others print polls that are knowingly false. They become deranged and sick. They suffer from a major case of Trump derangement syndrome. The 2024 election coverage was so bad and so wrong, and yet they never got called out for it. But I'm calling them out with the lawsuit that I have filed, which is making its way through the courts. They have to pay a price for fake and fraudulent news, and hopefully it's in the not too distant future they will. I would love to see the fake news enemy of the people pay a price for their fakeness. The polls, though, thing, it's a struggle. We've been talking about this forever, so I love seeing Trump, kind of confirm our talking points because he knows his stuff too. But he's like, the polls are fake. The polls are awful, but the other polls, those ones are real, and they say I'm doing good. Polls are meaningless. It comes down to like proving the consensus and the mandate that you have, which Trump, and maybe even through, some of these companies that we don't like, what's the one that what's Peter Thiel's company again? Why can't I think of it right now? Drawing a blank. I was going to say Oracle, but that's not it. You guys on the chat will give me. But they have access to all of our data. They know that Trump has a consensus. Somebody tell me the company. Why can I not? It's not Oracle. Palantir. That's the one I was looking at. Oh, yeah. What about my poll? I wonder what we're at. This poll is as real as any of the other polls you'll see out there. And let's see, after almost 2 days now, 45%, almost 46% say Trump has exceeded expectations. 28% met expectations. 22% fell short. 2.8% no opinion. So only 2.8% of people are right. There really isn't a wrong answer because it's how you feel about it. How would you define false in polling, though? If they are polling only people in their office, the results they are presenting may be accurate. That's true, but if you're presenting a poll as this is the sentiment of people in the country, you need to get some sort of whatever a fair, selection of people looks like. And if you're doing it for political reasons, you're supposed to get even numbers of all political. It's also stupid. Polls are meaningless. They've only been created, and their only purpose is to help sell the story and the narrative that whatever they're trying to do, whether it's this candidate won or this policy, we don't like that. They can totally fabricate it, and then they just use the poll to sell the idea that they want pushed. So if the polls say that Trump is going to lose the midterms, oh good, now we have the story we need to steal the elections from Trump, right? It's a joke. I don't know the right way to do it either. I don't think we need polls. It's a media and regime type apparatus that they use to cement their narratives, to push their narratives. And it's even more, I don't know the right word I want to say here. It's just gross because they take advantage of people with these polls. So many people are afraid of doing their own thing and thinking for themselves. Everybody wants to do whatever the crowd is doing. Not everybody, but a lot of people live that and operate that way. We see it all the time on social media. They will berate you if you have a criticism of something that they want you cheerleading for, right? It's the same thing with polls. If everybody or the majority of people are in support of one thing, they try to make it so that you won't voice opposition to whatever that thing is. And they know that. They take advantage of everybody, of everything. Oh, Badlands Media rated the stream. Thank you, Badlands Media. I wonder if that was who was live before me? Chosen? Hilton Birdwatcher says there's a great book called Scammed by Statistics. It's a good read. I used to love statistics class in college. Is that weird? I love messing around with statistics. Spencer says I'd probably be at Met, but went exceed because of the border. Thought it would be a fight, and instead Donald J. Trump just called the military and sealed it immediately. Richard Rohr, John seems to attract retarded people everywhere he goes. Yeah, it's probably, I don't know. My issue is like giving people the benefit of the doubt a lot, and I shouldn't. I've been burned by it so many times. I can't tell you how many people have taken advantage of me because I've tried to do the right thing and help people out when they ask. And how many of those people have now spent the last year just trying to ruin my life. It's very unfortunate. So I don't think it's necessarily that I surround myself with retarded people. I just, because of my nature and trying to do the right thing, people take advantage of that. And it is what it is. And it sucks too because I don't want to change who I am or how I operate like that. Like I always try to do the right thing by people, and I believe in karma as well, you know, which is one of the reasons when with all the bullshit going on, you know, some people can get upset by it. Not me, but others, you know, in my life. And it's like, it is what it is. It'll work itself out. I know I didn't do anything. I know I did the right thing every time and always try to do the right thing. And these people that aren't doing the right thing, it'll backfire on them. Like their karma will end up getting them if it hasn't already. And I am perfectly comfortable living with that. And I have no idea if that's what you meant by your comment, Richard Rohr, but here we are. John, is that a co-founder raid? What's up, Keith? Help me out, John. Polymathon, what do you need help with? John's issue is lighting. Yeah, it's just the window I have there. If I don't open the window, though, then I feel like I'm in a dungeon and it gives me the sads. Guilt causes people to do some seriously crazy shit. Yeah, a lot of people stabbed me in the back. That is for sure fixed bayonet. John, you mean you didn't vet your co-creator? No, I vetted them. Like I vetted them to the extent I can, but I can't vet how people are going to operate when they want money. You know what I mean? Like I can't help that I can't predict people totally turning into liars and douchebags for money. I can't predict that. I mean, one of them I knew for sure was at all times only ever caring about money. Like that I knew. But I didn't really care. I didn't put myself in a position with that individual to do damage. Not that he's not trying currently, as you guys have probably noticed. Q of Swords 3. John, when you win, will you countersue? I don't know about that. And my mindset's kind of changed. Like there are other potential lawsuits I would bring for other people that I have like ready to go. It's just a matter of I'm sick of paying for attorneys. That's one. So if I find somebody who wants to do a contingency, that's fine. I just don't know if the assets are there and these other people that would make it worth it. Because it's not about the money there for me. But also, like, I just want this shit to be done. I'm so sick of, I feel like my life is on hold almost as I'm being bled dry waiting for this bullshit to end. That's the worst part. Freaking waiting for judge to issue rulings on shit. It's just annoying. Need a fill light on your right to use if you have a window or light on your left. I do have a light here. It's just not very bright. I mean, I can turn it up. But again, like this is a temporary setup, so I'm not like too concerned. Money's the root of all evil. Yeah. But I mean, I try not to look at the negative stuff, right? Like I can't help how these other people are operating as much as it sucks. I have so much I would love to say, but I won't. But we're like in such a good place right now with the people we have at Badlands. And that's the part that probably sucks the most too, is not only is it like slowly bleeding me dry, hopefully I'll get most of it back if the assets are there when we win. Because I got to imagine like you can't make something up, sue somebody, force them to spend money on attorneys, and then just be like, oh, okay, well, whoops. You know, I lost now, but it sucks for you that you had to do that. Like I'm assuming, hopefully, that the judge will be like, yeah, that was ridiculous. Pay them back the attorney fees. That's the hope. My concern, I would say, or what sucks about it is, and it shouldn't happen, but I don't want it to affect the other there are people in Badlands that rely on Badlands for money, like their full-time job. You know what I mean? There's a lot of them. And it would kill me if this situation affected them in that way. That's why I hate shilling for money, and I'm not going to. But what I would ask is continue to support our sponsors. And if you're not subscribed to Badlands in one form or another, do it. It's helpful, and you will keep the lights on for the people that rely on the monthly, salary from Badlands. There's the back end team and a few of the creators that are on a draw as well. So your support is appreciated, truly. You don't have to give Rumble rants to me or anything. I'm saying subscribing monthly is a huge help because it keeps us budgeted and everything. If you're not doing it, whether it's Substack, Rumble, or becoming a Badlander, Badlands Boost, I'm trying to think if there's any other methods. But yeah, it's really appreciated. People put in a lot of good work. Eric Q. Freeman, yeah, may get there eventually. We'll see. Again, I just want this all to be done. CC, our life is not on hold. Don't give that. It's not that my life's on hold. I thought that wasn't said the right way. It's just like there's a lot of really exciting things I want to do with Badlands. Like some cool ideas I have that I want to wait until this is resolved before I pursue those things. And that's what's on hold. Like my life, everything on the personal side, like things are good there. John, when the people return the grand juries to their jurisdiction in the Constitution's Bill of Rights, it will be a lot easier and free. Or no fill and look like the two faces of Harvey Dent. Thank you, Ty, for doing that. Appreciate you. Good to see you, man. Okay, I need to talk about the rest of the stuff I've talked. How did I even get on this tangent, you guys? Stop it. Judicial Watch. Well, here, let's do this story. The Biden era FBI paid sedition hunters over $150,000 to aid January 6th and Arctic frost probes. The FBI under the Biden administration paid more than $150,000 to members of the sedition hunters, a group of tech sleuths with anti-Trump leanings and known foreign ties, to help identify suspects in the January 6th Capitol riot and the Arctic frost investigation. Some informants used facial recognition and spyware to locate American citizens for potential arrest. Payments included $20,000 in summer of 2023, approved by a deputy to then special counsel Jack Smith for video analysis linking Trump supporters at the Ellipse speech to the Capitol riot. FBI officials said all supervisors involved have been dismissed and are conducting an audit to ensure no others were missed. It's a lot of money to internet sleuths. Wish the government would give us some of our money back for internet sleuthing. You just watched sues the DOJ for full Durham investigation records. I hope he wins this lawsuit. This is awesome. They announced Wednesday that it filed a Freedom of Information Act lawsuit against the Justice Department seeking fully unredacted records from former special counsel John Durham's probe into the origins of Crossfire Hurricane and the Russiagate investigation. Because we haven't had like a good declassification of documents related to whatever the Rico Grande investigation going on behind the scenes is. We haven't had anything related to that in a while. Nothing meaningful anyway. We've had some Arctic frost stuff. They seem stuck on that. But there hasn't been a lot of movement on anything else ever since the Charlie Kirk assassination. I've been saying it. Anyway, the suit targets previously withheld or missing materials, including CIA Director John Brennan's 2016 White House briefing notes, the DOJ Inspector General report critiquing the FBI's handling of Crossfire Hurricane, the 14 missing pages of Durham report appendix, and all unredacted transcripts or notes from Durham's interviews with key figures, including Hillary Clinton, John Brennan, Jake Sullivan, John Podesta, and others. I didn't know there were 14 missing pages of the Durham report appendix. What in the world? I need to look that up. The 14 missing pages refer to the unreleased portions of the appendix or the Durham annex to Special Counsel John Durham's 2023 report. These pages remain withheld from public release despite partial declassification, including a version released by Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Chuck Grassley. What in the world? I am curious what's in those gaps. You guys talking about it. It is funny when people gift subscriptions. The best part about it is I get to see who wasn't already subscribed. Some of the names surprise me, certainly. They certainly do. Air Force One is safely on the ground in Ireland to refuel. Fat Chance, supporting Badlands is a full-time job. Yeah, and I know you guys are always already so generous coming to the conferences and all these other things. And I said at the beginning, I don't want to ever put like, other people are doing legal funds and whatnot. I don't want to put the burden of this on the audience, and I don't want to put the burden of this on the hosts at Badlands. So I'm not asking for that. I'm asking for, just support Badlands and by subscribing. It's the easiest way. And get the merch when you like it or whatever. Come to conferences. It's all good stuff. Polymath on good ideas. Don't you mean bad ideas, John? Trademark? Yes. Badideas.com. Actually, I probably wouldn't go to that link if you... I don't know if that website exists. I don't know if it does. It sounds like a website you probably shouldn't go to. E.H. Kyle, John, would it make a legitimate change in how people lie about others? I guess I don't know what that means. Badlands and John were important light in the darkness for me during some dark days. Appreciate you, Bay. You guys are also nice. John is going to do John stuff documents. Yeah, I want to nerd out over these. Because we got that. Let me go check my mind map real quick. Well, hold on. Let me not share my screen while I log in. Okay, here we go. And this is what I was adding to. This is my mind map of all the stuff, like the declassified document stuff. I haven't had to add anything to this in like months, which is very sad. But the Durham appendix, classified appendix, Durham report. It's 29 pages. I don't know where the missing pages are, though. Unless it's just at the end. I wonder. Let me look at something else here. Let me look at the actual Durham report quick. Because now that I think about it, it may have said the classified appendix was 44 pages or something. My computer's being slow. Come on. I just want to know why we think there's 14 missing pages. There's got to be something here that says so. It's two-part. Be at the end, maybe? Come on. Why is my computer being so dumb? Have I been hacked? Whatever. I was in church. Did John talk about Pompous Jack Smith? I talked a little bit. Where's your John Huber document section, bro? I've went over the John Huber stuff, and do you guys still think he's going to come back around? I'm not convinced. I've done my, I included him in my series. There's some interesting aspects there. I think he might be done. And when I looked into it, John, he's, where is he again? He's on some, if I'm not mistaken, like some venture capital something. Ooh, that's not the John Huber I'm looking for. Let's see. Where's John Huber at now? Shareholder at Greenberg Trailig LLP. Okay. White collar defense, government investigations. It's a shareholder part. Okay, maybe that's what I was thinking. But anyway, back to this. Curious to see if we ever get those extra 14 pages. Request also seeks unredacted records of Durham's referrals to other federal agencies, emails between Fusion GPS and major media outlets, the Clinton campaign, or the DNC, and communications involving British intelligence head Sir Richard Dearlove, U.S. intelligence officials Stephen Helper, and Christopher Steele. So, Judicial Watch does good work. Tom Fitton, I think it's a little silly sometimes, like the way he takes his pictures and tries showing off his biceps all the time. It's kind of nerdy and maybe douchey is a better word, but the lawsuits he does are awesome. Getting all this info out. Trump has predicted a government shutdown as the GOP scrambles to pass funding bills. President Trump on Thursday predicted Democrats would block the passage of the government appropriations bills and force another shutdown. The deadline to fund the government stands at January 30th. As of now, only half of the 12 appropriation bills have cleared both chambers, according to The Hill. The annual cycle includes 12 bills that separately fund different government departments. I think we have a problem because I think we're going to probably end up in another Democrat shutdown, Trump told Fox News on Thursday. Last year, a healthcare funding dispute led to the longest shutdown in American history. A so-called shutdown occurs when the House fails to pass one or more of the appropriations bills to fund the government before the deadline. Typically, both chambers approve legislation to fund key programs such as military entitlements if they expect a dispute over some point of funding. So I've been saying I wouldn't be surprised if we also see a shutdown, maybe a new record-breaking one. Might as well break a record. Records are meant to be broken. But Trump is saying it too. We'll see if we actually get it. This is the bill they're trying to pass, though. 1,059 pages. It's got a section on Department of Defense. It's got Department of Labor, Health, Human Services, and Education. And then Department of Homeland Security. They're calling it like the Department of Homeland Security Appropriations Act. That's part of this. And within this bill, they are also, we finally have Mike Johnson doing the thing that we've been asking him to do. Do you remember the when they reopened the government, they passed that bill, and a bunch of those senators put in that provision where they could sue. Like they created a law, made it illegal, and then they could sue after the fact and get a bunch of money from people. Like the whole thing was so stupid, and I was complaining about it very loudly. Mike Johnson said that in the next week they were going to come out and reverse the bill, and they never did in the next week. But it looks like they voted to pass it finally. 427-0 vote. House votes to kill Senate data seizure payouts. Finally, something that I am not totally upset about Congress doing, except for the fact that it's in the Homeland Security funding bill. House lawmakers voted unanimously Thursday morning to overturn a policy Senate Republicans got enacted last year, allowing senators to collect hundreds of thousands of dollars in legal payouts if their electric records were unknowingly collected, a measure aimed at benefiting lawmakers who saw their data seized as part of Joe Biden's investigation of Donald Trump. In an effort to force the Senate into accepting the provision, the House is including the language in the Homeland Security funding bill. Chamber plans to vote on later Thursday. So that's the only thing that's stupid. Because it's a 1,000-page bill, and I think that's retarded. Badideas.com is available. Ooh. I may need to buy that. See, that's like one of those things. I would totally buy that right now if I wasn't being sued. Don't have the slush fund like I used to. Did we ever find out what Trump's and Johnson's secret was? We haven't. Is Mike Johnson finally attending to his package? Good to see PJ. Seems like a really easy read. I will skim through the bill, see if there's any juicy tidbits. There typically is something in there that's like, why the hell are you including this in a bill? But we'll see. T. Gretzky, don't be jelly of the gun show. I'm not jealous of the gun show. Have you guys seen how Tom Fitton takes pictures? Let's see if I can find his. Like there's even an account on Twitter. Tom Fitton's bicep. That's hysterical. Where is? Oh, here we go. Tom Fitton. Let's go through some of his pictures. This is why you guys watch me, right?
Talking about impeachment is useful because it puts courts on notice that the public is upset about what they're doing, and hopefully they'll follow the law rather than
all the time. It's so funny.
I'm going to keep on asking questions about it. I'm sorry. I'm going to keep on asking questions about it.
He does do a lot of curls, doesn't he? John, does your slush fund include Staples? You know, maybe if I still had it. John, sell the mansion kid. I'm not in a mansion. I wish I was in a mansion. Q Awakening. To what end? What is the point of knowing how much more corrupt these evil scum are? People being retarded ciphers, unwilling to give up the comforts of the Matrix is the root cause of delayed justice. Yeah. There's a lot of reasons we could give, speculations we can give for why the delay is taking so long with a lot of this stuff. At some point, we do need to like figure out at some point, like when do we get to a point where it's, yeah, maybe we were wrong about some of our assumptions. You know, some would argue we've already passed that time. Trump's Board of Peace is really popping off. What is Trump's Board of Peace and who is joining? Here's what to know. Oh, man, behind the paywall. Let me get around that real quick. All right. U.S. President Donald Trump is struggling to attract Western allies to his Board of Peace, but so far, he's got support of Middle East monarchs, the man known as Europe's last dictator, and at least one leader wanted for alleged war crimes. He's invited dozens of countries to join the board that seeks to resolve global conflicts, but its remit has alarmed several U.S. allies, and has the U.S. leaders comment that it might replace the U.S. or the United Nations, which I think it will. The board, indefinitely chaired by Trump, was originally conceived as a limited body tasked to oversee the reconstruction of Gaza, which was decimated by Israel's 2-year war, but but its purpose has since expanded to tackle conflicts the world over, and the charter draft, which was sent along with the invitations to join, does not even reference Gaza. So let's see if we can find who's accepted. The UAE, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Qatar, Bahrain, Pakistan, Turkey, Hungary, Morocco, Kosovo, Argentina, Paraguay, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Southeast nations of Indonesia and Vietnam. Netanyahu's on board, even though he has fumed at the inclusion of Turkish and Qatari officials. Armenia and Azerbaijani, love saying that word, signed a U.S. brokered peace agreement last year, and a deal would give the U.S. exclusive development access to critical transit corridor. Have also agreed. Belarus, Putin. I mean, we're like, if we get Xi, it's the entire Sovereign Alliance. That's all we're missing. It's pretty wild stuff. And I do think it's going to replace the United Nations. I think eventually, I mean, maybe it'll still exist, but it's going to be pretty irrelevant. Ooh, Besson says that China's Xi and Trump could meet 4 times this year. The leaders are setting the tone for the overall relationship. If there are glitches, if there are hiccups, they can jump on phone calls. Wow. Four meetings. Wonder where. I wonder when Trump's going to go there and when Xi's going to come here. Okay, I want to show you this clip too. This is so yesterday I was on with General Quast. We did a show, Energy is Life, talking about solar, like solar power energy from space being beamed to Earth. It was a fascinating discussion. But this is what Elon Musk said today. I think it was today anyway, today or yesterday at the World Economic Forum in Davos. Take a listen.
I guess a rough way to think about it is 100 miles by 100 miles, or call it, I don't know, 160 kilometers by 160 kilometers of solar is enough to power the entire United States. So the 100 mile by 100 mile area is, I mean, you could take basically a small corner of Utah, Nevada, New Mexico. Obviously, you wouldn't want it all in one place, but it is a very small percentage of the area of the U.S. to generate all of the electricity that the U.S. uses. And the same is true, actually, I mean, for Europe. You could take a small, you could take relatively unpopulated areas of, say, Spain and Sicily, and generate all of the electricity power that Europe needs.
So why don't you think that there's a movement towards that here and in the United States?
Well, there is.
As it is in China.
Well, unfortunately, in the U.S., the tariff barriers for solar are extremely high, and that makes the economics of deploying solar so artificially high, because China makes almost all the solar,
He went on to say that the current solution is Tesla and SpaceX will be building out large-scale solar in the United States. And then importation of solar cells is very expensive due to tariffs, but production domestically can and will be done. So just some interesting comments, I thought, in light of what the conversation we had yesterday. Good timing. And then finally, last story I think I got for you guys. Trump is reportedly seeking to regime change in Cuba after ousting Venezuela's Maduro. And this was a story from yesterday, last night. Trump administration is looking to achieve regime change in Cuba by the end of the year, according to U.S. officials who spoke to the Wall Street Journal. Officials familiar with the plans have apparently gained confidence that this outcome is possible for 2 reasons. One, the U.S. just launched a surgical attack on January 3rd that led to the successful capture and ouster of President Nicolas Maduro, who had served as the country's socialist leader since 2013. 2, the administration now believes Cuba's economy, which is deeply entangled with Venezuela's, is very close to collapsing without Maduro in place to guarantee oil. I am not in favor of regime change. You guys know that. I do not think we should be doing regime changes. I'm okay with purchasing islands and land masses in countries or whatever. That's cool. I'm a capitalist. But just going out and regime changing countries, not a big fan. So I don't know if Trump is going to go this far and do this. I would hope he wouldn't. I could potentially be sold on the justification for doing so. Like, just because I'm against the principle of something doesn't mean I can't understand the justification for it and see why they did it. But we'll be curious to see. I think that's all I got for you guys. Had a couple rants from Keith O'Higgins. John, when it comes to women, can you really enforce a gag order? Funny. And then Keith O'Higgins again. Durham and Huber are tied to the disappearance of Jeff Session. An update on Jazzy Jeff might tie loose ends. Yeah, we haven't heard about Jeff Sessions in a while, have we? Anyway, guys, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. And tonight, Rug Pull Radio had to cancel their show. Last night, Shipwreck had to cancel her show. She was out of power or something. And so she's going to be doing her show tonight in place of Rug Pull Radio at that time slot anyway. So make sure you guys tune into that and Sit Rep and everything else we have going on. But yeah. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Hit that thumbs up. And I'm going to play a soft disclosure ad real quick. Get yourself some soft disclosure. And I will see you guys back here tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern right here on the Daily Herald.
I don't say this lightly. This lotion changes people.
My knuckles would actually start to crack. Started using the soft disclosure lotion, and I am very impressed. Even within just a few days, I've noticed a tremendous difference.
That's not a script. That's what happens when something actually works.
It puts the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again.
Yeah, that line keeps coming up. Because when you don't use it, your skin starts acting up.
Every single ingredient in soft disclosure is intentionally chosen. There's no filler ingredients. It is not like this BS product where they have a bunch of ingredients. Every ingredient listed is for a purpose.
Over 65-star reviews for the lotion alone. Not influencers, not actors, just people whose skin finally shut up. Soft disclosure lotion. Once you try it, you'll understand why people won't stop talking about it. Visit softdisclosure.com and use code BADLANDS and get 10% off.
Let's get started. Oh, that's real good.
Why they stopping me?